The man was on the phone, but then he can see, clear as day, that the gardener is standing still and watching the beautiful young woman. He pulls him out of his trance, asking him if he's spying on his daughter. He says he's just watering the plants, but he'll not fall for it. He could see that he was spying on his daughter. He wants him to pay attention to this, that he'll never have a shot with his daughter or any other woman of her caliber. He'll not spend all that money to raise her that well just to leave her to a John Doe like him. He hopes that he's paying attention to what he's saying or he'll fire him and his mother from there. He'll not say that again, and the boy nervously nods, saying it won't happen again. Minutes later. He can't resist himself, so he takes a flower and tells her that he took this one out just for her. How thoughtful, he thought. But she says she doesn't want a flower from him. He tells Brenda that he likes her, and she tells him that he should give her something that has value instead. His love for her is worth more than anything else. She laughs at that, saying that he's pathetic and that he says that because he's just a gardener. She wants him to call her miss whenever he addresses her, and she'll not allow him to speak to her otherwise. He didn't mean to offend her, but she pushes him out of her way. His mother comes up, asking him what's he doing. He says he was talking to Brenda, but she tells him that she's Miss Brenda for them and that he needs to learn that. He can't help saying that he likes her, but she tells him that they need to know their place, that she's his boss. She knows that it's hard, that he can't change what he's feeling, but he needs to understand that they're poor, that he'll end up making a huge problem for them if he keeps this up, that they can't lose their job. He apologizes to his mother, saying he'll control himself more. She sure hopes so, saying they have bills to pay. He's still not happy about it, saying that they're like just anybody else. She says that's what the Bible says, but is the other way around in this world that we live in. She knows that he's very much in love with Brenda, but she tells him not to say that ever again, telling him he needs to dry himself up. The next day, her father starts to tell her that he brought Nathan, one of the shareholders of his company and part of a traditional family, and that he wanted to introduce them. He greets her, calling her Miss, and she says it's a pleasure to meet him. He tells him to sit down, and then he tells Caroline to get Nathan something for him to drink. She leaves, and then he excuses himself, saying that he has some things to deal with right now. He immediately starts to tell her that he didn't know that Rodrigo had such a beautiful daughter, and she thanks him for the compliment. She's a vision of perfection, he says, and right about that time, Caroline makes her way back, excusing herself to them and serving them drinks. She ends up spilling his drink on him, saying she didn't mean to. He stands up, furious, calling her stupid, and she says she can wash his clothes. His shirt alone costs more than a lot of things, and she can work her whole life and wouldn't be able to buy one like that. Brenda asks her why she did that to him, but she says she didn't mean to, that it slipped, apologizing to them for it. She tells him to calm down, and he tells her that he needs to go to his office, that he can't go like that anymore. He keeps blaming her and calling her useless, and that's when her son goes and asks him what's going on there. He says he's a nobody who doesn't have anything to do there. He says he can't talk like that to his mother, but she tells him to stay out of this, that he should be working on the garden. His mother also tells him to stay out of this and go back to his work, but he'll not let anyone talk to her like that, but he says he'll not let anyone mistreat her there or anywhere else. He wants to defend his mother, so he asks him what he'll do about it. He doesn't flinch, and that's when Brenda tells them to stop. He steps away, and he tells him to not forget his place, telling them to get out of his sight right now. Caroline apologizes once more and then they leave. She says he didn't have to talk to them like that, but he knows how to handle poor people like them, that you need to be strict with them, so he has no regrets about how he acted towards them. She's sorry about his shirt, telling him that she can try to make up for him by inviting him to the party she'll throw tomorrow. He's interested in a little party. The next day, he calls Miss Brenda, asking her if he can talk to her. She asks the gardener what he wants now, but he came to thank her for not telling her father what happened yesterday. He also says he can help her with the decorations for the party. And she goes and tells him to finish setting up, and that she'll go and finish getting ready then. He thought she was already done. He says he's finished, asking if they can talk. What is it now? He wants to know if he can come to the party, as he has never gone to one before. She says he will, as a waiter. That surprises him. And she says he'll not go as a guest, and she leaves. She can't believe he was after her again, but he says he only went to ask her something. She doesn't want him causing any trouble, and he tells her that he needs to change because he'll work as a waiter now. She feels sorry for him. The party is up, and she says that her party is great. She thanks her, saying she can't wait to see Nathan again. Her friend asks her who's that cute waiter over there. She says he's kinda cute, but she doesn't want a gardener. As she turns around, she says a prince is coming up to them. He tells her how beautiful she is, and she compliments him as well. He asks if there's somewhere more private, and she says there is, asking him why. He leans over to her ear and says he has a gift for her. She loves presents, and he goes and asks if he wants a drink. He can't believe it's him again, and he says he's just checking to see if he wants something to drink. He sure does. People laugh and point at him, and he asks why he did that. He tells him to open his eyes, telling him to stay away from them. They're finally alone, and she asks him what he brought for her. He asks if she's ready. That he brought a jewel for a jewel. It's a diamond, and she asks if he can help her with that. He tells her to turn around. And she asks him how she looks. It's perfect on her, telling her that she's very beautiful, that he likes her. She says she likes him too. And he's glad to hear that. He was going to pull up, but she says she was not ready. He says her father threw her at him, but she doesn't want like this. He says she doesn't have a say in this, that he'll forfeit all the business with her father if they don't go through. She says he's scaring her, and he takes her by the arm and pulls her over. She starts to scream that she doesn't want, and Jonah hears Brenda's screams and quickly makes his way toward the voices. He goes in and tells him to let her go. He turns to Jonah and then she's begging him to stop. And he tells him not to do that to any other woman. She thanks him for saving her, and he takes her out there. The next day, his boss, Rodrigo, tells Jonah to clean up the pool, and he says he'll do it right now. He asks him what happened, but he says he slipped and fell. He tells him to go then, telling him to be careful. He sees Nathan and asks if he fell as well, and he says he'll show him something. He points out to Jonah, saying that he fought him because he was trying his way with his daughter. He tried to take advantage of her in the bedroom. He says that he doesn't even want to think what could have happened if he didn't stop him. She asks her son what he did, and before he gives her an answer, Rodrigo advances on him. She's leading a police officer to the same place, and he goes and pulls them apart. She asks him what's he doing, and he can't believe she's defending the guy who tried to take her like that, but she says that he was the one who saved her, that it was Nathan who did it. He loses his mind and grabs him, but the officer tells him to wait. It's his daughter, he can't help it, but the officer says the police will take care of this. He immobilizes Nathan and starts to take him away. She's completely lost right now. But Brenda says that her son saved her. He asks her if she's all right, asking her why she didn't tell him about it, but she says that he wasn't there, so she called the police. He also apologizes for not telling him what happened. She was trying to hide it from her too, but she likes Jonah. She'll start packing their things. Her father tells her that the heart wants what the heart wants, that if he likes her so much that he did all of that for her, and if she likes him as well, then he tells her that she can go ahead. He gets all excited. And he tells them he'll let them alone for now, telling him to keep his guard up with him. She's very happy for them, but she tells him to take things slow. He asks if Miss Brenda really likes him, and she says he's a bit silly, but she likes him, and that's a dream coming true for him.